Hello, my name's Reverend Moon. I'm Senior Minister at South Congregational Church in Granby, Connecticut, and I'm glad to be talking to you about our processes and beliefs around death and funerals and memorial services. I want to do that with you simply by taking you through the process that I go through. I get a call often from Carmon Funeral Home, and they'll ask me if I'm available to be a part of a funeral service for a family, and if I am, I call up the family and ask them if we have a time when we could get together. There's two reasons for that. One is so that we might plan the service itself together, and also so that I can hear stories and about the person who has passed, and about the kinds of things that they love to do in their life. Sometimes I go to the family's home if they wish that, or they come to my office, and we spend about an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours going over these things. It's very important for me to hear stories about the person who has passed away, and it helps me to get a sense of who they are. And it's also been told to me that it's very healing for the family to tell stories to one another about the person who has passed. And it's sometimes that time is filled with both laughter and tears, and sometimes one family member will say, "My goodness, I didn't know that about mom or grandma or grandpa." And so there's kind of a fullness that comes to be in that time. And then I ask the family, even though it's a difficult time, if there are members who might want to participate in the service. Some people say yes. Understandably, others say, no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to make it through that kind of an experience. But it's very helpful to all who are gathered if there are family members who are able to stand up and speak of their relationship and about the loved one who has passed. I also give them the opportunity to open that time of remembrance and of stories to others who have come to the service. And if the family wants to do so, I invite others to do that in the service, and to stand and just say a brief word or a short anecdote about what this person has meant in their lives. I also ask the family if there's any particular music that they would like to share, want to be a part of the service, music that may be meaningful to the family or to their loved one. And I ask them also about the scripture text that they might want to use as a part of the service. This is central to us because our beliefs about life and death grow out of the promises in Scripture, and often people will choose some of the Psalms, one or two of the Psalms, because they are so comforting. And of course there are texts in the Christian Testament as well that people might want to choose that are comforting and speak of the promises that come to us from Scripture, of God being both our Creator, the one who gives us the gift of life, and so God being the one who receives us at the end of this life and receives us for eternity. If there are texts that are important to the person who has died, then, or to the family, it is a wonderful thing to be able to include those in the services. And some families say, well, you know, there aren't any particular texts, and that's quite all right. That's why I went to seminary. In the service itself, It is it's a service that includes, of course, prayers and often an affirmation of faith, and then it also includes those times of eulogizing that the family or others might do, and I speak as well, combining the texts that have been chosen and the picture of the person's life that has been given to me by the family. When the service is over, we in the service itself, often the casket is there, but it is also possible to bring the urn if the person has been cremated. And of course, flowers and pictures often adorn the front of the church or the chapel as part of the service. At the close of the service, we go to the graveside for the internment. Often it is done right immediately following the service. That is a brief service which includes the reading of some scripture texts and prayers, the words of internment, and also any music. Sometimes family members want to have music as a part of that time. If the family is desiring of any follow-up, I am glad. I usually call the family a week or two following the service just to see how things are going, and if they desire a visit, I'm glad to come and give some comfort and give some time of prayer. We are open to people of any faith. There are people who are less defined in their own faith life, and we're open to any of those who might want to come and celebrate the great gift that their loved one has been to them in the context of the Christian faith. So we're happy to do that. You don't have to be a member of our church. We feel that this is a service and an outreach to our community, and we are glad to share our faith and our resources with you. Thank you for considering the congregational tradition of the Christian faith. Our heart goes out to you in this difficult time.